Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Hello.
Hello.
I saw that look on your, as you said hello.
You don't know shit about my looks. You don't know,
I know
anything.
your look.
You do not know
your
a
look.
fucking thing about my looks.
You look like this, like this. You just like your eyes kind of like narrowed, like, oh God, this asshole again. Don't you remember it's going to be every Monday?
First of all, it's called a wince.
How do you wince? Show me. I decided I was watching someone like a actor crying, and you never think about this, right? You never thought like in the Fiddling Horse, what if I have to cry?
Well, I read the script, so I knew it wasn't going to come up.
Yes, but that is my big fear all the time.
It was hard. It was bad enough. Oh, I have to talk.
So you've seen people not be able to cry on actors. They go, no, like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw Hannah Einbinder in the Unbelievable.
You're obsessed with hacks now.
Okay, forget that. All right, so I figured out the answer last night.
What's that? What answer?
You try not to cry. And I figured to try not to cry.
Who is going to hire you to cry, Andy?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think. It's really like it's really kind of foolish. It's like being like, if I get cast as a ballet dancer, I can't take the part,
right.
Kind of a thing,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Also, and you know that I'm pro-gay.
I do know
pro-gay,
that.
yes.
Like over the top pro-gay.
Right. But there's a couple of these scenes in Hacks where they're slurping on each other. I can't play that role.
Well,
what if I had to make out with the guy, the agent guy?
You're not pro-gay.
I mean, do you have to French kiss to prove your...
Would you pass on a role where you had to kiss a man?
I think that's one of those hypotheticals.
Well, we're playing in hypotheticals here. You're already crying on screen.
I would like to say no. I would like to say no.
You would like to say no?
I would like to say no.
Really?
But I don't... Okay, because I keep going...
I would think you would like to say yes.
No,
you won't. No, you won't turn it down. All right, okay.
I'm
sorry.
But then I keep going. The hypothetical keeps going. Where's the call going to come from?
Right.
Ooh.
No, it's a very hypothetical.
Schindler's List, the musical. I mean, when's it going to happen? Josh.
Yes. No.
Why would I make it sound like that?
You know when Woody Allen takes off his glasses, it's the same sort of effect.
He all of a sudden can't tell how old ladies are. He takes his glasses off. He doesn't know whether his wife has an adopted child or not. Good morning to you, sir. And by the way, may I say, you look lovely today.
Really?
Yes. And can we have a show? I love when they go.
He finally noticed.
Can we use words like, this is a delicious joke? You know, like that kind of thing.
We can, but we got to back it up with a delicious joke.
With jokes.
Yeah.
Well, right before you called, I called, or you recalled, or we set it up, I was watching, finishing up the Hitler thing. And boy, oh boy, woo! No, it's great. It happens to be great, but it is exactly what you said. There's some parts that are so disturbing, I had to leave the room.
I didn't say that.
Oh. There are parts that are so disturbing. I had to watch it from the kitchen, washing dishes, so I didn't see it completely.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. And then I also saw, I have something to recommend to you, because everyone is saying to me, and you know this, you're a mean person, Andy. You're nasty. You don't ever recommend things you're always like angry at people.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what my point is. Okay, so.
Watch About Last Night.
Okay, so here's what I want you to watch. With all the listeners out there, I'd like you to watch this show, if you could, for me, please. It's called Billy and Molly. And don't mock me, because I'm going to be sensitive. It's called Billy and Molly. And Otter, you know what I'm saying, Otter?
Otter?
O-T-T-E-R?
I know what an otter is, but...
An otter love story. Now, at first, I thought I was mad that the name was a pun, like another.
Like an otter kind of love story.
Yeah, I don't like that. So, but that part I don't like. But it's about a man forms an unlikely friend, and this is why I think you'd like it. It's the opposite of that horrible movie where the guy thought he was an octopus. What was that movie? I'm going to be an octopus now.
My Octopus Teacher.
Right, you couldn't. Right,
fucking hate.
And that was Anthropomorphic City, right?
Yes,
that was like
yes, it was.
I'm
Yes,
going
it was.
past I heard the octopus said, psst, psst, come here. I swear to God, I heard him say that. This one is beautiful. I mean, it's like you really see him relating to this otter. And it's like, an otter at some point, you see an otter, it's like a dog. It could be a dog size. They have a dog that's not that much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not thinking to yourself, how and why is this possible? No, it's all believable and lovely and beautiful. And I'm only halfway through.
Really? I hate to tell you this, Andy.
What happened? Oh, no, you know what? I already know this. I already know because I was reading around a couple of things. I go, oh, great. Now the otter's got to die. Right. I hope the second half of the movie is not all sad otter funerals.
Otter hospice.
An otter hospice. And whoever came up with the name, an otter love story, you know that they wanted that to be another, right?
Well, I think they wanted the latitude for an entendre.
Right, but that's not going to. It's not going. People aren't going to watch for that. Have you heard about the new pun otter movie? No,
I don't think that they're leaning on it that heavily.
I know. I always quit. I realized that I realized recently that there's a certain judgmental streak in me. Yeah. I never saw that before.
I just like how it can bring out both in you. It can bring out your ire and your soft underbelly.
Oh,
like lying on your back with an abalone shell.
I got in the fight last night. Not even a fight, but will you stop it? No. Okay, turn it off. I got in a fight because, first of all, is there something called Bleacher Nation or Bleacher
Report?
Bleachers, yes. So I thought that's what this was. It's but that's not. This is a guy. He's a Chicago Cubs fan.
Yeah.
And he starts saying about how Diaz had so much gunk on his hands that they should suspend him for the whole season. I don't know if you're aware of what happened, but they're trying to go after my man Edwin Diaz. Why, I say, they ejected him from the game. This shall not stand.
Well,
but it will stand.
Yeah, they ejected him.
It will stand.
But
this got me
guilty.
mad. But he was guilty, but here's the thing. So I was talking to Susan last night about the history of baseball.
Oh,
right?
good.
About,
I'm sure she was thrilled.
Well, not, I didn't go back, the double day. No, I said to her, there was a time period where, if they could have chewed the ball before throwing it, they would have done it. I mean,
that time period is now. It extends throughout the history of the game.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah,
do you think,
people will do whatever they can get away with until they can.
But I don't like that. I want Diaz to be of a higher moral fiber.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's part of the game.
To try and cheat?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in favor of the Houston Astros with
no, I'm not. Okay. I'm not in favor
but you're
of
just
it.
Saying
I'm not
part.
in favor. I'm saying it's part of it.
Right.
Particularly pitchers trying to get tiny little edges.
But he's my man.
That's okay.
He has to be completely. But you should see the close-ups they have. The close-ups, it looks like, the close-up you can see a WD-40 sticker. I mean, it's just...
it's just sloppy.
It's a sloppy job. But that, here's how you said I'm not stupid, right?
I have said that.
Okay.
In various tones.
Didn't you think that the Edmonton Oilers had already won?
I knew they were up 3-0, and then boom, they came back, the other team, whoever they
3-3.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a seventh and deciding game. Uh-huh. And I said to Susan...
And suddenly, I'm interested in hockey.
I said, Susan, I think I'm rooting for Florida. She goes, how could you root for Florida?
I'm with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then, have I told you my Edmonton story? I'm sure I have, but can I repeat it?
Let me guess. They didn't like you much.
Exactly.
All right,
late 80s,
Please elaborate.
Early 90s. I'll never forget. I even had to tell Susan because she couldn't believe that what the guy originally meant was what he meant. So I'm after the show, sour. I'm at the bar, drinking or whatever. I don't drink, but whatever I was doing, and I was going, God, these crowds are like
furthering my type 2 diabetes with the soda.
My early onset diabetes. So I'm sitting there and I don't know, man, I'm not doing well with these crowds. And the guy says to me, well, you know what? It's hard, man. We've seen it all up here.
Yeah.
We've seen it all. You know what he's referring to? They had just won 5 championships. So he's saying, how can you impress me with your stupid joke? We've seen it all up here. We've had the world's greatest hockey team. What are you going to, are you going to come here and score a goal? So, what, you don't think that's what he meant? That's what he meant. We've seen it all. I'm sorry, man. We've seen it all up here, this town. And that. What do you think he meant by that?
I think he meant that comedy club. I think he meant we've seen
no.
Every kind of comic come through here.
I was saying I'm really frustrated. He goes, well, you got to, the problem is that we've seen it all up here. We've seen it all. Like, we've had so much joy and so much success that you coming up, unless you're going to score a goal,
we don't even recognize your brand of failure.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. So I've got that guy in my head.
All right, well,
he got in my grill. That guy. I mean,
I guess.
Not really. I mean,
he did. It was the '80s, and it's still there. So you're.
It's easy. Oh, sure. There's no question. Edmonton, Alberta. I love Canada, but it's not my favorite place. It's a very boring kind of looking town. It's not Toronto, and it's not Montreal.
Right.
So it's just boring.
I bet it's better than Winnipeg.
See, this is the weird thing about Winnipeg. I'm saying it as Norm Macdonald would call it, Winnipeg. When I first went to Winnipeg, I loved it because it was in the summer. They were having a festival there. And then when I went back with the Ross Rumberg or whatever the thing we played.
I didn't.
You played there too, right?
I played a different thing than you.
Have we've established this to previous thing?
Yes.
Not the same guy even?
No. Worse.
Did you die?
Worse.
Did you die up there, or you did okay?
It didn't matter because I was featuring. It never matters.
Featuring.
But I did fine. But it was a bad situation.
Boring.
Well, and I was there.
I
was there over 2 weeks. Yeah, I was there.
So maybe they did that with a lot.
There was New Year's. Well, New Year's Eve was involved, so that they kept me over.
That's depressing.
It was awful.
That's depressing.
It was the only time I ever took a stand where I went, "You have to move me to a better place."
Oh, the hotel was terrible?
Yeah, they had a flop house above the club that they put me in. I was like, no, this is the power. Did you do it
right at the beginning?
I did it about 2 days in because I was going to be there for 10 days. I was like, no, I'm going to a hotel or I'm going home.
Wow. So did they put you in a hotel?
They did, yes.
I didn't even realize it was that terrible.
It was awful.
That you were up and out and it
was 40. It was 40 below too, so I couldn't start my car without a jump start. So I was just like,
did you rent a car up there?
No, I drove. I came from Minnesota.
Oh my God.
It was from Minnesota.
This is so terrible. How far is it? Were you based in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay. How long is it? What's that trip? It's not that long, I guess.
It was
5 hours?
8 hours, maybe 7. Maybe 7 hours.
Yeah. But it was such a great experience, and you got to see.
And I got hassled at the border, both going in and coming out, too. So.
Was this for something legitimate, or just because they thought you looked like a hippie?
I think because they thought I looked like a hippie.
And cigars?
No cigars. I had nothing. They had nothing. They had nothing to get me on. But I think because because I was a comedian.
Yeah, that's like, what are you trying to pull, fuckface? Get out of here.
But they actually pulled me out and sat me in a room.
And they were rude to you?
Well, I mean, there's only so polite you can be when you're sitting someone in a room.
How can you go do it both ways?
But then, I was sitting in the room and 2 people popped their head in and did a callback to my act that they had seen the night before. So
liar.
No, that's true.
Wait a second. Leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, so that helped you get out, probably.
No, it didn't. But it helped me ease my tension.
Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, is what I'm trying to say. I had fun up in Canada, but I wouldn't want to go back there for those gigs. I told you British Columbia is these logging areas, they don't smell good. I don't know what they do with log. I don't know how they log, but it does not smell good. You would think that chopping down 5,000-year-old trees and stripping the environment would be a wonderful thing to do and would be lovely, but no.
You know, all I smell is sarcasm.
Well, you're damn right about that. But the Mets won, too. That's the other thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, despite their cheating pitcher.
Well, this is still okay. So you're saying, oh, now I see. Okay, Josh, you're saying, so let me look at your taxes. I don't know what I'm going after here.
Good luck. Good luck understanding what they say.
I had so many things to talk about, but you know what? You don't write them down. You don't write them down. That's all there is to it.
That's my curse right there.
You don't write it down.
I do write it down sometimes.
Oh, what do you got?
This time, nothing that much happened. I had a bunch of shit worked on in my house most of the weekend. So,
what's going down? Is something going down?
Nothing went down.
Is anything going down there?
No, just maintenance issues.
How can we convince the Property Brothers to come and spruce up our houses for some reason? Like a celebrity IOU. It's not we're not celebrities, but still, you don't know Celebrity IOU. It's a pretty cute show.
I do not know.
Okay, well, it's a cute show. It's like Brad Pitt wants to be nice to his makeup person, and they surprise him, and they just remodel the whole thing.
Wow.
And the person, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So it's cute.
It sounds very patronizing, really.
Well, everything on HGTV gets old. You would think, here's the thing, there could be so many great shows that could be on the House and Garden Channel, but they would take a long time to gestate. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I make a good show. There are excellent people that would be entertaining, but how would you find them? They find them the way they find them, which is, we're going to make the Property Brothers system. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just take over at some point. You ever think of that?
I did think of it, and I thought it's not worth it. It's not worth trying.
It's not worth trying. Not with me.
No.
It's like trying to go against a fire hose.
Oh, the coffee. Oh, the coffee.
I'm making great. I go to this place that's near us, not that far. Is the boy and the boy and the bear. The boy and the bear.
The boy and the bear.
You've seen it, right?
I have not. What does it
even
mean?
It's a coffee place, and they're incredibly great roasters, and they charge accordingly. They charge more than accordingly.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even tell you how much the last one was, because when I got home, I went whoop 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 whoop. But the coffee is so good, and the coffee's so good, and the prices. What's that joke? But the portions are so large.
Yeah.
And it's all from Colombia. And now I'm starting to agree with what you said.
When
you said coffee's not going to get better, because it's perfect to me now, and I'm taking it for granted.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, of course.
Right.
Let me go back to this.
He says, as he sips.
Right.
Yeah.
But my argument would be, your argument would be it's not getting better, but my argument would be it can't get better. What's wrong with perfection?
I just think we're there. I think we're there.
I think we might be there. Oh, in fact, I've heard of a new company, because I went into the Boy and the Bear, and I talk to people, and they don't like it. When I talk to them and ask coffee questions.
I have type 2 diabetes. My wife
I have Chemex.
I use Chemex. And did I mention my wife can't eat gluten?
So, oh God, I forgot already. I'm in the middle of something. But
you're chatty at the coffee place.
My chatty.
You learned
coffee. Coffee. I don't remember now. God damn it! All right, I couldn't have been that good.
We were talking about peak coffee being the best, and you said there's new something.
There's a new something.
That's my last try.
Oh, thank you. You did it. You did it. You did it. Did it. Did it. You did it. Did it. Did it. He provided some words, and they
stop it and go finish before it goes away again.
It went away again.
No, you dick.
Okay, it's called Fellow. Fellow makes, and I'm stone cold sober for days now, at least 2. Fellow. The company is called Fellow. I haven't looked into it at all. But the guy at the coffee place, who is very knowledgeable and is nice to me, which is a change, he said it's unbelievable. He goes, it's just coming out now, but he tasted it at one of these coffee conventions, and he said it's unbelievably good. It's it's almost like as good as Pour Over.
Yeah.
Fellow is the name of the company.
What is it? Are they are they a coffee maker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Although it sounds like a weird name.
Like
it sounds
a drip coffee maker, or
yes.
Okay.
Well, how else would you do it? You have a thing from the side.
I'm gonna kill you.
Well, are you old enough to have the percolator at the top of the thing? Or no?
I'm old enough to know what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to have it on the stove and you go percolate, percolate, percolate. And I used to think, wow, this is so magic.
That's flavor. That's flavor happening in that little plastic dome there.
Do you know that my parents had a Chemex in the basement?
I did not know that.
And I didn't know what it was until I had learned about. My mother has an excellent, no, not really. She has good palates sometimes for certain things. She turned me on to good coffee before I even got into good coffee. Dallas Brothers. I just dropped I bored my. What if I could bore myself to tears? Would that work?
There you go. I think that's your only route.
Now I think what you're saying to me is I'd be one of these glycerin tablet guys.
Yeah.
You know, like you smash a thing on the thing.
One of my favorite, the most egregious glycerin, I just saw it's in one of the great movies, and Singing in the Rain on Debbie Reynolds at the end. It's like the most glycerin-y glycerin tears I've ever seen.
And that's a musical. You could take a flight of fancy in that musical.
Yes.
I still don't quite get why musicals are popular. I know they are good and their thing and the singing, but immediately people are talking immediately. I can't listen to you now because you're dancing and prancing.
I'm with you. I like about 1 in 50.
Well, West Side Story, I'm sure you love.
Do not like West Side Story.
Yeah, I don't have. It's like, I've never seen. I've never seen it in the theater, but I've heard every song. Da bing bang bang, da bang bang. So you're saying it's not even Leonard Bernstein's best work?
No, I don't think it is. Although I can't cite what would be.
I still have not seen Maestro. Hello, Maestro.
Yeah,
I still have not seen it.
Huh?
And I have no desire to see it. That's big difference. Clearly,
you've let it go by the boards.
Are you still having YouTube Premium?
I am, yeah.
And why are you not just keeping it? Why is this? I'm only keeping it for how much is it? $18 a month?
I think it's like 13. I'm not saying I'm not keeping. I'm just saying I'm still on the 2-month freebie.
Oh, you're still on the.
And knowing me, it'll just start charging my card, and I'll barely notice, and it'll be fine. But I'm just saying it is my point is that it's a very, very noticeable upgrade.
Right. Yeah, well, oh, come on with you. How do I
mute.
turn it off?
It's called fucking mute. Learn it.
Can I turn off my phone?
Yes. You can turn off your phone.
Okay, here's what happens. I turn my phone off, and then I never turn it back on again. And then I miss when they...
And isn't it glorious?
No, because I miss an important show business call.
Right.
Like what if I missed the thing about they're bringing back, what's the gay show that they had?
Your phone not ringing, that's like 3 times you don't panic in a day.
Queer as Folk. What if they were bringing that show back?
What about it?
And they wanted me to be on it. They heard that I have a problem kissing?
Yeah, because usually shows will call the talent directly.
That's really? All I'm saying is, if I have to make out with them, it's not. But I am so pro gay. I'm so pro gay. No, I have Peter Allen on repeat. No, nobody knows who he is.
Speed dial, I think is what you want.
Speed dial. But if I did take the role, I'm sorry, there's going to be an intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, well.
What if you got the role to kiss me? What would you do?
I would dominate you.
Why would that be good? Is that the only way it would work for you? I don't know why that gets me.
I don't know why it got me either, but...
At this point, Droopy should come in and say that he just does not like this talk at all.
Good morning, you could say. Why, hello there.
Oh, man, we have fun. You know why we have fun? Because we're people. This show is going to rock it. Oh, you know that you can get a thing? It's Rocket Mortgage or something like that. You can buy a thing, and they for $15 a month, they will get rid of all your subscriptions that you're not using.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like
Does that sound like overkill? Or sounds like something that some people like me might need?
Well, it depends if you need an app to work it, to manage your finances. That's just a perk. We'll unsubscribe from all your...
Oh, I see. But when I first heard, I was like, I like this idea. They're going to do it all for me. Because a lot of these
they're
things
even selling it that way because they're like, well, but what if it did this? Well, I'm afraid of using the phone, so that would be great. You know, they're really like playing on people's insecurities and ineptitude for this.
I mean, like if you look up TurboTax online, do they say, "Oh, anyone can do it. Come to us. So simple.
Yes.
So simple."
Yes, that's what they do.
We, unfortunately, having Macs, Apples have always had the QuickBooks and those things, and they're terrible.
I don't think that's really true anymore, Andy. I think you're talking about the 1990s.
No. My wife is currently hooked up.
Nah.
No, it's better than it was. It's better, but she switched to Quicken, which is just a simpler thing. You know, my father, I told you my father had a software. This was a job years ago, a guy who would write a program just for his business.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that popular anymore, right? Like the final script guy, final draft guy.
Well, there were a lot of people in database design back then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's still going on, but not in a way that we could. Oh God!
Wow!
Oh God! You know what happened there? I not only lost where I was, I lost my joie de vivre.
Yeah, no, your raison d'etre, I think, is what you lost.
Are you sure it wasn't my joie de vivre? Well, you know, I think you're right, but I think raison d'etre has a certain je ne sais quoi that you must say is. Oh my God, it's 4 jokes. I hear a doggy.
No, you don't. Actually, you heard a truck.
Okay, honey, make the calls to the mental people. You said if it happened one more time. All last night. I hear doggies. Oh, God. Oh, God love us all. I'm trying to think if there's anything new to talk about or if I should just look like this. Why don't we...
I watched the Stevie Van Zandt doc over the weekend.
What is it? About him?
No.
Oh. No. I thought, sometimes these guys do it.
I know. It was hair trigger. It was hair trigger.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
HBO doc. Very hagiographic.
Did you say hacky?
Hagiographic. Like
that means it's very nice to him.
Fawning, yes.
Well, so maybe he did direct it then.
He did not. I was actually quite surprised he didn't have an executive producer credit because of how it was the structure and how it was presented.
That's how he did it.
It was like long and not well paced.
Like how long was it?
Like 2.5 hours.
Why would you? Oh, I see. I would never even. Well, I'm not as big. What would make you want to watch that about him if you didn't know it was not so good?
What do you mean?
Like I saw, to me, he's never been like a guy. I can't wait to see a documentary about him. I don't even, but that's just all because I'm not familiar with how good he is on guitar. Is he a great guitar player?
He's a very good guitar player.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's about, really. But no, I mean, he's an interesting guy and a talented guy and a smart guy and all of those things. But his story was not well told, in my opinion. And they pretty much gave him credit for ending apartheid with his Sun City songs.
Were they the people who weren't going to play Sun City?
Yes, that was his thing.
Well, Stevie.
I mean, it wasn't his only thing, but I Ain't Gonna Play Sun City was his project.
I started watching The Sopranos again.
Yeah.
Susan and I, we sat down on the couch last night and we watched the first episode of The Sopranos because that's not how we met, but how we bonded. We used to have sex during The Sopranos. We just loved it. No, but we used to every Sunday night we'd meet for The Sopranos and meet over at Susan's house.
We'd have sex during The Sopranos. We'd finish again, and you go back 3 minutes.
No, I said I'm not. If you want to have sex, let's wait till Arliss. So. I remembered, there's so much I don't remember, but I so remember this opening episode because of all the tension that he's bringing to a guy who's a mobster going to see a psychiatrist, therapist. Oh, it's just so great. It is just so great. You know what? I think it hasn't been talked about enough. But that's the first show I've gone back to watch like that, and I think I'm going to, because I'm just getting to the point where there isn't enough good new things out there. There aren't. If you're avoiding all your obligations and
but there's also like everything that's happened in the ensuing 25 years since The Sopranos. You haven't watched. So.
True. But
I'm not trying to discourage you from me watching The Sopranos. Oh,
well,
I'd love to hear about it. But
you're making an excellent point because I saw Breaking Bad, but I never saw Better Call Saul, so that would be a good choice for me.
It's quite a good show.
And there's other ones, like I didn't watch the third year of The Wire.
Also a good show. There's 3 more years for you to watch then.
Yeah, I think maybe I should, because I love that show. Oh my God, The Wire was so great. Oh, when that came on, it came on after the Sopranos.
Uh-huh.
But,
hopefully you'll journey back to Oz.
But when you see this, that guy, the kid DJ, he's a kid. Sometimes I go, he started out as a kid. He's like Richie's age on Dick Van Dyke. He's not that young.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers who Richie is.
Larry Matthews.
They don't remember. I love that show, and that was a terrible, no blaming of him, but it was a terrible character and never worked.
Well, they didn't go to the well very often with him either.
They didn't go to the well, that's true. Richie, Mommy. Oh, Daddy. But Beaver. See, how come Beaver?
For a couple with kids, you did not see the kid very much.
Well, Jamie Lynn was already arguing with her mother.
Yeah.
By that point. But DJ looked like he was like 11.
Yeah, he probably was around there.
God.
What a great observation.
What?
Nothing.
No, what is that? I don't understand. You made a funny face.
Yeah.
Why don't you add that to your act?
I have no act.
You're going to do stand-up soon. You're going to do when the
No. Well,
you're going back to Acme.
Nope. Don't have one booked.
But you will.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't have any drive.
Why am I engaging you in a discussion about how much you do or do not like stand-up? You'll do it when you want to do it, or you won't do it if you don't do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want me to be your manager with that kind of thing, like you the club, look.
That's about the kind of management I got going now.
Well, are you working? What's your specs? What do you write? Are you writing a 2.5 Men? I told you should write a 2.5 Men.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
Or you could even, what would be hipper? Young Sheldon. You write a Young Sheldon. What do you think it's like over at that Peter Lorre's house, or John Lorre, or Sam Lorre?
Peter Lorre's house.
Is Chuck Lorre related to Peter Lorre?
Welcome to my house. I actually have a friend who lives in Peter Lorre's former house.
Yes. I do Peter Lorre too. Yes.
All right, go for it. Try.
Okay. But what do you think having lunch with Chuck Lorre would be like? How's it going, Chuck? You got anything going on? Now, is he supposed to be not? Okay, so he's not happy on some level. Why are these guys not happy on some level?
I've spent the better part of 2 days with him in my life.
Okay, and you don't want to right now. You don't want to screw up any chance that you have.
No, these 2 days were 20 years ago, and it wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy.
What was the show?
It was a pilot that they brought me in to punch up the pilot script. And
was there a whole crew?
Yeah.
And so, what was his style? Hey, fellas.
His style was kind of Dr. No.
Oh, Dr. No. So nothing's good.
Right.
Well, then how come? Well, I think he's right. I've seen his shows.
There you go.
Is he better than I'm putting him? Is he better than I'm putting him? Or am I so tired of that format? Like I told you I love. Who's the guy? Ducky. I call him Ducky. You know the guy from that movie 16. I love him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
Okay, so he had a new sitcom where I liked the premise even. It was these people are living, and you just can't watch it. He can't save it on his own. He cannot save it.
It is a tired format. It doesn't.
You could not have an Everybody Loves Raymond come. My prediction is, who cares about my prediction? But I predict that you could not have an Everybody Loves Raymond. It's not going to come out, or even well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe is that show Ghost good? Isn't there a ghost?
I think it's Ghosts plural.
Yeah.
And
it's bothering you that I said a name you can't find.
It's John Cryer.
John Cryer.
It came to me while you were talking.
How could I not know that name?
But no, I don't watch any of these shows. I don't, and I haven't for years. So I don't really, whenever I do like flip by them, I go, wow, that just feels so just stand and deliver, you know?
Well, and the point you're making is like, I haven't watched all the years of Mr. Show. I could watch that before watching The Sopranos again. But I have problems with this.
I don't really care what you watch, first of all.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. It was your premise that there's nothing good besides going back to watch The Sopranos that I took issue with.
Well, the thing is, if I had a different... I'd like to watch some of those British mystery shows, because my dad liked them.
Maybe get some BritBox.
What exactly is BritBox?
It's an app, a streaming app for Brit stuff.
But can I get it bundled with something else? Right now, I've got too much. I have to call Spectrum, and boy, do I have to. When was the last time you called them and said, "What are you going to do for me?"
Never.
You never have. So your bill's high.
It is, yeah.
You and I are very similar. Now, my brother, who makes a lot of money, I just want to say that.
Yeah.
He is... sometimes wealthy people are the exact opposite of us. Like he told me once, he goes, I hate the idea that I'm paying for something I'm not using.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to worry about that. But he's more on it than
I don't like the idea that I'm paying for something I'm not using, but it doesn't eat at me.
No, because you don't do anything about it.
Well, yeah. If it ate at me, I would.
But does Allison ever say, hey, we're still paying for my space? You think
this shit is eating at Allison?
So, Allison, you have two people who are both
loose cannons. We are just a couple of loose cannons.
But you're both procrastination city, and you love it.
No, no, we don't love it, but we accept it.
We accept it. Well, you have to accept it. That's better. It's just like I accept it.
And and like you, we get very proud of ourselves when we do something.
I know, it's great. You could have a service that does that for you. $15 a month. They'll stop it.
Yeah. So, there's pluses and minuses to our system. But the real good thing is we're never on each other's ass.
That's just good generally, because I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Not at my age. Yeah, no, that's good. That's why you're a great couple.
I think so.
What I'm talking about. First of all, I still can't, what's it called? I can't grok that Allison, and I know this is true, even though I haven't been on Facebook for years. She's on Facebook. She loves it. And she talks to her friend Shmeeky. Oh, we're going to get a thing here. Have you seen the Groupon over? I mean, it's like
I don't think she does the Groupon thing.
She doesn't do the Groupon. No. But she's no downside. She's just like, she likes to.
She doesn't get into many fights. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think now that's why we need a new Facebook where it's, I think, do you think, I'm out. I'm not out completely. Don't worry about it. I got a lot of banter left.
Oh, that's good. I'd hate to have to shake you by your verbal ankles.
Did you say veritable?
Verbal, I said.
Oh, that might be painful.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, whoa, wee, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, wee, wah. Come on.
What?
Entertain me.
All right. You're stupid. See, I got a laugh.
Usually we have some kind of local thing that's happened. As I mentioned to you, the boy and the bear. Have I?
You did. I don't even. I still did. Is there any explanation for the name?
It's sweet.
No, it's not. It's incongruous with a coffee shop.
You're probably right, but that's what makes it delightful. Yeah, there is a point to be made that when you make the name of anything too pun-like, you're hurting yourself like an otter love affair. An otter. Puns don't work.
Well, and it's also, I'm from the generation of BJ and the Bear, so I'm picturing a chimp.
Okay, so you can tell me about that. You watched that.
I did, yes.
Okay, because you were a kiddle.
Avidly at age 9 or whatever. Yeah.
Who was the bear? Which one was the bear?
He was a chimp.
Oh, it was a monkey thing?
It was a chimp.
And who was BJ? BJ from...
Greg Evigan. Not BJ from MASH. No, it was not a spinoff.
And what's this guy? Do I know him outside of that?
He was one of my 2 dads as well later on.
Was that Paul Reiser?
He was the other dad, yes.
These shows, I'm assuming, don't hold up.
I doubt it.
How about Pizza Place?
But I'd still go watch them before redoing The Sopranos. No, I'm just kidding.
That, I'm actually very surprised that you say that. Not surprised. I've seen all the things I love many times, like Modern Romance.
Yeah.
So I've seen everything I've loved. I've watched more than once. I've watched every episode of Dick Van Dyke 40 million times. Now I'm done with it.
I just got sucked into broadcast news for the 10 millionth time, I think.
How did you get sucked in? You just started watching it.
Just started watching it. It is perhaps my favorite movie.
So great.
In some ways, yeah. Not every way, but...
But you should watch About Last Night. Because
I
very
saw About
similar.
Last Night back in the day. I did.
It's very similar because Jim
You don't
Belushi...
understand. I was a teenager with cable in the 80s. I saw everything.
I'm trying to think of what... So you saw every movie then? Every bad movie that came out. Well, that wasn't a bad movie. Mr. Mom wasn't a bad movie, right?
Many, many times I saw it.
Was that Keaton?
Yes.
Okay, so you saw him where he tried to work with the Japanese factory?
Yeah, I did. I actually had a high school teacher show that to us in class, talking about the Japanese.
That's a kind of a funny movie, right? Is it or not?
Only kind of.
Is it racist at all? No, just...
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like on topic racist, at least.
Yeah, the topic is racist, yeah.
But it's more, it was more of a, it was more of a cultural...
Yes.
Contrast.
Divide thing.
Contrast.
But, and Mickey Rooney,
but it was definitely like, but the American way is still the best,
Yeah. So you saw all the Does this mean that you saw all the Michael J. Fox movies, or is that when you were older?
No, I saw all of them, I think, pretty much.
And I told you I liked Doc Hollywood or something. It wasn't bad.
Doc Hollywood wasn't bad. There was a lot of good scenes in it.
Name me a couple of bad stinkers, a couple of Michael J. Fox stinkers.
The Secret to My Success, Stinky.
Ooh. And who?
Some might say Light of Day with Joan Jett, pretty stinky. Not terrible, but pretty terrible.
Not terrible, but
the latter, the third, especially Back to the Future movie was pretty shitty. The Old West one.
But the second one was good, right?
Second one had a lot of jokes.
Yeah. Would you watch the first one again? I might.
I've seen it over the years plenty of times. Again.
And you've seen Peggy Sue Got Married?
I did. Good movie. Funny movie.
Yeah.
Although Nicolas Cage, little too big, but.
Ooh, she loves you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Remember, he wants to change the word. She gives him the Beatles songs so that he can become famous, and he changes it. He goes, that Beatles song was great, but I changed it. She loves you, ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't look at me like that.
No, I'm just,
Okay, now explain to me.
It's just me being dead inside. What do you want?
Now explain to me the Con Air movies. Or you're already too old.
There was just the one Con Air, and I watched it.
Wow, I don't understand. You'll see. I'm anything that's psychological.
But Con Air, you have to. Both Nicolas Cage and John Cusack were very bankable movie stars at the time of Con Air. That's true. Yeah.
Say Anything I loved.
Say Anything, very good. I mean, they both had cred with me at the time.
Right. But now Nicholas, as I've told you many times, Nicolas Cage will not be friends with Sean Penn, because Sean Penn trashed Nicolas Cage's movies.
Huh.
And Nicolas Cage said the door to our friendship is closed.
Huh. That's healthy.
Probably was healthy. Why was Sean Penn doing that? I don't care. There had to be a reason. I don't care. well, look who's saying it. Me, if my brother was in a big movie, I go, my brother's not acting as bad. Now, me, I would sabotage my wife if she had a thing.
You would.
And I'm the one saying
you're awful.
it?
You're awful, yes.
Yeah, sadly, I'm just, in that description, just generally awful.
Yeah,
No specifics.
God, you're horrible. I don't even know why I'm doing this show with you.
No, don't. No, this is, you have to, can you separate the art from the artist with me?
I have to identify it first.
I wanted to make you think it's froze. Didn't though, right?
No, you didn't. You can't freeze and sway.
I got somebody upset today with the. Let me see if they wrote back to me. But could be rough. Should I read it on the air?
I don't know.
Nope. As usual, I scared the person away.
Yeah.
They were writing me to say, because I was saying Martina, I was doing some of my Martina Navratilova material.
Is this about how much you love the gays again?
No. And so she started saying, she wrote DM me, well, Martina is just really only interested, she cares only about the sports thing. Otherwise, she's completely progressive. And it's like, so anyway, I had to fight, I tried to be.
What is Martina's problem about trans athletes or what?
She basically says they shouldn't be competing with male athletes, all right? But the point is that trans athletes should not be able to compete. So that's her main thing.
Right.
Otherwise, they should have all the rights that everybody else gets, except in one article she goes, except in restrooms and stuff like that. So she's so all over the map. She doesn't even know. Yes, I understand as a sports person, she's probably triggered by this, even though Renee Richards helped her, became a good friend of hers. Yeah. She quotes Renee Richards. She goes, even Renee Richards says it's bad. But she doesn't, she seems to be trying to stake this thing out of I'm just talking about sports, but otherwise I don't agree with Republicans. And it's just an impossible position. It's like a crazy position to take.
Yeah, I feel it's an inequitable position no matter what, because
it's a tough discussion.
Yeah. I mean, there is validity taking I'll say politics out of the equation. There is an advantage to a male body in a female sport.
Yes, I understand all of this. And my argument has been, I couldn't care less about that argument because right now the biggest issue is how, whatever that argument was, the biggest issue right now is trans people are to be eliminated, and the same arguments against gay people. And so she's claiming that it's, when she claims in all other ways, if you're saying I don't care that I'm on the same exact side as the Republicans, there's something creepy about that after all. Because my whole thing is, okay, whatever they decide, I'm not going to go to the court for that. But but everything else cannot be affected. Women's bathrooms, men's bathrooms, all of that stuff. And she's already with the women's bath that there's a problem. She's buying into the thing that men are coming into spaces with penises.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's why it's an untenable discussion to have, because you can't separate the politics from it.
Right.
But,
Well, like Daniel Radcliffe said, he was supporting this. Because he was having an argument with J.K. Rowling. He said, I'm supporting this. I support trans people. He's had been involved with trans organizations in England. And so he didn't say, I hate you, J.K. Rowling. He said, I disagree with you, And then, Martina said, hey, Daniel Radcliffe, sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
I stopped you when saying something.
It's funny when the athlete says to the actor, stay in your lane, basically.
That's right. That's exactly right. He should sit down and shut up and let the women tennis players.
Right.
I think it's going to bother her, I think it's going to affect her in the long run, because all of her friends are, Billie Jean King is against her. So many people are against what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh God, how did I get? You know what? I'm not blaming myself.
There's too many non-stakeholders being stakeholders in a lot of these things.
Yeah. Like I tried to tell this woman, I said, do you have a child who's trans? Because I think you'd know then what the issue was.
Right.
But she hasn't written back to me yet. I think people, when they DM you and they are upset about something and they like you and you've liked them, and they see this so clearly as their side, they think they're going to be able to explain it to you. I don't think you realize that. And she's just talking about, whatever. I guess that could work sometimes if you didn't understand the issue you were talking about.
Well, and I think knowing you, taking it to the DM rather than putting it out there was a more delicate way to at least have a real discussion with you.
And I tried to have it, and I thought, be somewhat respectful, but I don't think I had the patience to be respectful enough, or who cares?
It's hard to know, you know.
Yeah, it's hard. No, I'll send them to you.
It's hard to be respectful to people you don't know well enough to have earned your respect.
This is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
So that's why Twitter is such a bad format for discussion. You know?
But I will say this about Twitter. It has gotten better, for me at least, because I don't see all the Nazis anymore as much. But I know it's never going to be what it was. But it seems like it's slightly like. But this goes along with my hope that Elon Musk is crushed as a businessman, and so.
Yeah, I had a little streak a week or two ago where I started posting for a few days for some reason, and
you started what?
I started posting on Twitter,
right?
Like several times over a couple of days, kind of like the old days when I just felt nothing. Didn't even really, it used to be at least check back to see how a post is doing, or
Yeah, because people aren't. They're not thinking comedy anymore like they used to. Like it used to be, it could be a fucking comedian being hilarious.
Yeah.
They don't think about that anymore. They think it's all political and stuff like that. So the people who would find the jokes, a lot of those people who probably aren't on Twitter anymore who liked you.
Yeah, probably not.
Right?
Yeah.
And in fact, some people who are still there just don't use it.
I just got my 15-year anniversary on Twitter notice the other day, and I was like, oh,
wow, what?
Fuck.
What year? 2009?
2009, yeah.
You were on before me, I think.
Yeah. I joined to promote Cinematic Titanic.
Oh, my God. You were never involved with MySpace, though, right?
No. Were you?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I mean, I remember people saying...
By the way, would you like to stop and take an antacid or something? It's like two in a row.
My stomach? Okay, can you cut that out? I don't want to be burping on the show. That's not me. People have negative feelings enough about me.
That's true.
Have you heard Thought Spiral? Well, it's basically Andy seems to, I guess he has some kind of problems in his stomach.
It's as if Andy has an endoscopic microphone.
Right. And the great thing is he never comments about it. He just goes, well, you really did it this time, Josh. We went beyond the pal. And why is that spelled P-A-L-E and not spelled P-A-I-L?
Well, what would beyond the P-A-I-L mean? It
would mean nothing. And so I would look into the definitions of pal, and I would find it very quickly about why it works.
I think so.
Right. But every time I hear people say chomping at the bit, I chuckle with a self-satisfied,
and yet every time I hear someone say champing at the bit, I go,
it still sounds wrong. Well, because I have to go now. I have to actually look up champing again and see why it's not chomping.
Yeah.
Champing. I think you could still chomp at the bit.
I think you can too. That's why. The problem is they both
chomping
work.
works.
It works, yes. Because champing just means chomping.
But champing at the bit was implied ready to go, too.
Yeah.
Chomping on the bit means he's having a nice meal.
It's the same thing. You're a horse in both situations. That's
true. That's true, my friend. No, and you know you can. I know you're going to hang up with me when I say something like my friend.
My friend is really the key.
But that's not too far though. I could, it's like a look, buddy boy.
Buddy boy, I'll stay around because it looks like you're going to have a play fight.
Yeah, and don't.
But my friend,
I call you Admiral.
Huh? Admiral, I'll fight you.
What if I start to go where you can clearly see that I'm just doing a bit to bother you? Like I go, huh? I can't hear you, Josh. Huh? Seriously, I can't hear you. I was joking. I could hear you.
I get bummed out when headlines fool me, though, because you can't just read the headlines because they don't even match up with the stories anymore. It's like someone writes an article, someone else writes a headline. Sometimes they've never met or spoken, and you can tell. I got fooled into one a couple of months ago this past winter when, here's the headline. 97-year-old twins leave the world the same way they came in. Together.
What?
Yes. Sounds like a medical miracle, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh my God, these twins, they were so genetically similar. They have the same amount of heartbeats. Or one of them sent out their secret twin signal before she died. I'm going, okay. None of that was the case. It wasn't a medical miracle. These two women, 97-year-old sisters, went out to dinner on this particular night. Cold night in Ohio. They come back to their house, drove themselves late at night. Well, maybe not late at night, probably 6. but after dinner. One of them slips on the ice. She falls. She can't get up. In fact, she may have said something to that effect. Her sister decides to go for help. She gets out of the car. She slips on the ice. She falls. She can't get up. And they both freeze to death on the driveway. Yeah, just like they came into the world. What the hell? As if one of them was lying there. You know what this reminds me of, Gladys? That time we were born. And they interviewed people, people who knew the sisters and family members, and it's like everyone they interviewed was just so enthralled by the fact that twins died at the same time. It's like they only read the headline, too. One of the daughters says, well, it was meant to be. Well, I guess as soon as you decided you didn't need to get them a life alert, just needed one. You didn't even need to get 2 of them. Another relative said, well, I can't imagine how one would have gotten along without the other. And I'm thinking, yeah, because they were clearly such an effective team. Sometimes the headlines are underwritten, and you almost skip over something amazing. I saw one that just said, pastor dies during service. I thought, well, that probably happens. And the only thing that kept me around was that it was Waco, Texas. I was like, all right, I'm in. So here's what happened. It was Sunday morning in this church in Waco, Texas. Baptist church. Pastor's about to do some baptizing, and he's standing in the water, waist deep in the jacuzzi. I don't know. We'll go with that. Standing waist deep in the jacuzzi. And he reaches over to grab what turned out to be a very poorly grounded microphone. Yeah. Spark! Splash! Dead. Zaptized, if you will. Which would have made a much better headline, don't you think? But really what the headline should have been is this: miracle occurs in Texas. Think about it. When's the last time anyone went into a Southern Baptist church and got a science lesson?
Hello.
Now we're good.
Okay.
Hi.
I really could relate to you last night.
Yeah.
Watching
Biden.
Yes, because of the one time. See, because like I was telling Susan, what I would have said is, I don't know what the hell I was talking about. That's what I would have said, right? My mind, because he went for that one. The worst time in the debate was when he really couldn't remember what he was going to say. He couldn't remember it.
All right, he was lost, yeah.
And that's how I felt. How did that feel? I mean, I felt like, oh my God, now I get it. I'm just now. First of all, Susan mentioned, do you have to talk about it at all on the show? And I really don't want to talk about it, but we just have to do it. We have to do it. There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know what happened. But
is that really? No. Well, here's the things like here. Rick Wilson, who I normally can't stand. He came out today, but he's like one of those those Churchill people.
Yeah.
Lincoln Project.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Look, Biden had a bad night. The other guy's still not, is a convicted felon. Toughen up. Let's get moving on this.
All right.
Here's the way I feel about it.
Okay.
I feel that, and I'm being totally honest, I don't want anyone to pass away. I don't believe in passing away, but I will vote. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel who said he would vote for, right, Susan? Weekend at Bernie's, he would vote for over Trump. I'm voting for the Biden-Harris company.
Yeah.
And if they win and Biden dies next year, I'm not going to be worried about it.
All right.
That's what I'm voting for.
Okay.
Is that a strong pitch?
Well, I don't think the worry is that, people who are already very Biden and never in a million years
you're right.
vote for Trump are going to suddenly go, well, at least he's sharper. They're not going to do that. But it was, it was just
terrible.
Like, it was such a gut punch. It was just like, it was like seeing your grandpa in the hospital. and he delivered his entire thing like he was in a hospital bed. It's, if you were listening to it on the radio, you would not have been surprised to hear beep, beep, beep behind every time Biden's mic being up.
Well, the thing is, like, he also had these things where, well, first of all, let's stipulate one thing. He's never been good at it. Never, even when he won.
All right, let me stipulate something. It's not his fucking stutter, okay?
Right, no, but I mean, his stutter does have, it's stutter. He did a lot of stuttering last night. I mean,
it wasn't, but it was not about his stutter.
But that's not it. Yeah. But the thing is that,
stutter is having trouble getting the words that are there out.
Right.
Not having the words there.
Well, one time he said Trump and Putin and Trump and Trump and Trump and Trump and Putin.
One time he pressed the button for the nurse.
Right. Well, it's a perfect storm because they've been saying that to him. They've been saying that about him. You couldn't have voted for him the first time thinking he was like going to be running laps and stuff,
No, but even if you watch clips of the first time around, you go, "Oh, wow, yeah, that's a noticeable decline."
Oh, you mean the first time
debates? I mean, the 2020 debates.
Oh, okay, and he still won. You're saying we know.
No, I'm saying if you look at,
you're saying it's worse.
Yes, if you see Biden in 2020 versus now, it's substantially worse.
No, but how much of that is just how much older he looks?
No, it's not It's not how old he looks. It's how old he acts.
Yeah.
He was doing fucking Tim Conway last night.
Well, someone was saying that Trump looks younger than him. I was like,
well, no, I mean, Trump was no better than Trump. I mean, the one thing that Trump did well was eat the insults at the time. Like
he did what?
He ate the insults that came his way in a way that he usually doesn't. But,
right.
But other than that, he was a lying sack of shit every time he opened his mouth. But,
and I didn't know. You didn't know. I want to talk to you about this. This is a true story that before Roe versus Wade was overturned, a lot of Democrats were trying to abort their babies, not just at 6 months, not just at 8 months.
No,
they try to abort their babies.
Preschool.
No, 9. He said it yesterday. 9 months and 1 day.
Yeah.
9 months and 1 day is what he's claiming.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter because everyone wanted to go back to the States. Everyone did.
Everybody did. Everybody did.
He just made it happen.
Well, the thing is, yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's it?
The thing is what?
Go ahead. No, I was going to say no. Look, I mean, this thing is never ending. I thought it was going to end in 2020. So that's all I hope.
Yeah.
I can't take it if he can. I can't take it. And then all the Supreme Court decisions are like, okay, and then and then Monday, you know what? He's immune. He's immune. He was the president. I don't trust these Supreme Court people anymore,
no?
Josh.
What is it?
It seems to me like they're a bunch of lawyers, some of whom have, was it Kamarov? What's his name? Kavanaugh. He got a little crazy with the beer. I'm not saying he did or he didn't, whatever. But these guys are like, They're like lawyers that will screw. If you want to do something really hard, but you want to get a lawyer to screw you, now you got the Supreme Court. It's just terrible. They said they ruled today that the obstruction is. You can't do the obstruction. You didn't hear that one, right? You know what?
I did.
You did hear that one. Yes. I woke up today, so I'm not going to watch it today.
Yeah.
But I have no. You know, if anyone's coming to me for the solutions, because I really did feel like he's going to lose this time, so I think he still could lose this time.
Who? Biden or Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah. He could. It could. I mean, we thot he would lose in 16, and he won.
Yeah. You know, you're not the person to know. Forget about it. I'm not taking you to my what are they called? Are you ready to go? Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't need you, Mister. I don't even go to Facebook.
You're not looking for. Are you fired? What was it? Are you? Oh, never mind.
Here's the thing. I think you're one of those comics who writes for a late night and goes, you know what? It could be funny if he goes back in.
No, it's what I mean.
I know you're not.
It's either a little funny and horrible and depressing, or just depressing. You make your pick, but
here's the thing. It shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have scheduled this Friday like this.
What do you mean?
Because I'm not. What do you want from me? Normally, I spend an hour trying to hold you up.
So I don't know what your complaint is here. Do you want to?
What am I not doing?
What am I not doing here?
You're not, because you're not. You're doing a good job, but you know I'd be like ready to cry.
No, I am too. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to make jokes. I made jokes about my dying parents. What do you want?
No, and this guy's here's me. Is this going to be me in the camps? Yeah, I've been in the camps here. This guy just died, folks. This guy just died. This is my new material, because these camps, the camps that are coming, are not going to be just Jews. They're going to be a lot of different people.
You're going to be the guy in the home, calling it the camps.
That doesn't sound too bad. Okay, I just want one more thing. How many times did Trump say they're coming through? They're coming through with the fentanyl. Did you know that's how they get the fentanyl here? They come right through, barreling through. Yes.
We bought the special dog.
He said that, yes. Right? We have a dog like you wouldn't believe. Who could smell things like you wouldn't believe. Everyone, by the end of our lives, or by the end of this, whatever, everyone will be able to do a serviceable Trump in this country. It's just so easy.
It's not easy. It's one of the hardest presidential impressions to pull off.
Well, the one guy who's good on Saturday Night Live, I like him.
Yeah.
James Austin Johnson.
Yeah, he has off weeks, but yeah.
Right. And then the guy who was really good at Trump, who I'd be afraid to look at now because he did Trump so effectively, is the one that when James Adomian was doing Bernie Sanders, and the guy up against him was Tony Anthony Tamawaka Waka.
Right. Yeah.
He did it. I don't know if I told you this. I moderated the debate between James Adomian and him, and he did not tell me before that you will hate me by the end of this for real. Yeah. He said he should have told me, don't take anything personally. He was so mean to me that I was almost ready to cry.
Jiminy clicked you?
No, because I was, anytime I would try and come in, I'll tell you, I don't want to stop the show, but I saw Jiminy Glick. Martin Short is so great. I could watch him literally. I know when his show was on, it wasn't as fun necessarily to tune into, but him as a guest host for a week or whatever, it's just the greatest. It really is.
I've seen YouTube clips of a lot of it.
Yeah. There's Selena Gomez on, he is a very, very, he's like, I'm trying to think of people besides Letterman and Carson. It's like, Shandling, I thought was a pretty good host too. Sometimes. I don't know if this is the who were good hosts conversation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you were a big David Brenner fan, but no, Martin Short can be funny in any situation. And I was on his show he did a show. I don't know if you remember. He did a show where I don't even know where it was, and he would say, "Oh, I'm a little tired tonight. I don't want to do the monologue." And he would bring a comic up to do the monologue.
Yeah.
So I did that once.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
Doesn't that mean I've had a long life that I can't even remember that, or a long boring
it sounds
life?
more like it didn't go well.
Oh, that hurt. One time I saw Martin Short at the airport, and I was so nervous and trying to be funny. I said, I'm doing you, Martin Short. And he laughed. He's a nice man, is what the point is.
Right.
Yeah.
Until you get that latex on him. Ooh, then he cuts like a knife.
Oh, with the Jiminy? Is that latex Jiminy? Is it hot in that suit?
Ask your friend Martin.
I don't think well, he's not like a Doug Jones, who my manager represents. Doug Jones, who was the guy in the water movie. What's that water movie? Monster movie? The lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's not what it was.
The Shape of Water.
Yes, and he does all of those parts for that guy. That guy, he does almost every one of those parts for that guy. In Aratu, he's going to be me in the home. In Aratu, come on, you know the director I'm talking about.
Is this Guillermo del Toro you're talking
That's exactly what I'm saying. Who's in Aratu? See, you could almost, if we were on a team, a match game, we might be very good with this.
That's not match game you're even thinking of. You can't even do the
Now I have
shows.
I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, pick away.
Okay. You mocked me
for
watching.
Sorry.
You mocked me for watching The Sopranos again. It's the best thing I've done.
I did not mock you for watching The Sopranos again. I just wasn't that impressed by you watching The Sopranos again.
I missed so much.
I mocked your assessment that there's no other option than to watch The Sopranos again.
Oh, I don't think that was that my argument?
Pretty much, yeah.
But I missed so many things the first time through. First of all, it's not all.
I don't think you missed them. You just forgot them. That's what
no,
happens.
I don't think...
I could watch The Sopranos again, and it would be 95% fresh. Like I'd remember who's going to die.
Right, that's what's so great about it.
But everything else,
yes,
because I watched it once a week, 25 years ago.
Right,
it would be totally fresh to me.
And the thing about it is, like, you look back on it and you say, first of all, if you want to look back, and I think it is maybe the greatest, up there with the greatest shows ever on television, right? But
quite a limb.
It's not. It's not hack. It's not. It's like not hack. It's even like a hack line. Sometimes when they go to the Bada Bing, like the Bada Bing, and Jackie Aprile dies, and they go to one of the strippers, and she goes, "This is the saddest day of my life." It was like in making them not, in making them 90s. Whatever I'm trying to say, but portrayal of these strippers. The portrayal was, oh yeah, a stripper would say he was the greatest guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not even. You don't feel that those are great portrayals of women on that show, and yet that show has some of the greatest women portrayals, I think, in the history of like Carmela, Edie's character.
Yeah.
So. But what I'm saying
is...
like,
we weren't judging every role in terms of its social justice quality back then.
No, but the thing is, in a lot of the ways, he did get it right. Because in a lot of ways, that you go to the Bada Bing and look sad. You look like sad. They're just kind of like moving around like that. Just like it was depressing. But I think there's so much in the show. Here's what I will say. There's so much in the show that I don't think I gave as much credit to. Not I gave as credit to the levels. I didn't realize how many levels they were going right from the beginning. So, for example, I didn't remember Carmela with Artie Bucco's wife, how she. I didn't remember that she was trying to treat her like very servile.
Yeah.
When she was, So it was like all those things that I didn't get, and also just the. Maybe because I've been in therapy, the more I understand, maybe, or I think it just seemed crazy to me, the things that his violence the first time through. Not crazy, but you really see how his mother and father. I mean, it's just a brilliantly. it's just brilliant because they're doing it from every angle, not just him and her, but the way how old the kids are. I mean, usually kids on shows, they're usually like an afterthought, or they can be an afterthought. But this is like he's like, what would it be like if you were 11 and you found out your father was in the mafia? What would it be like if you were 17 and you found out? And it's like just a thing that it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's brilliant. He's just really
well, I mean, it was the thing that made the show unusual was that every other mafia thing, or virtually every other mafia thing, had always been through the lens of the crimes committed, as opposed to the life around those crimes.
Right.
And that's what made it an interesting thing, is that there's a whole family of people who has to deal with this job of yours.
And the other thing is that the first time I watched it through, that I have a tendency from anti-hero movies, 5 Easy Pieces and things like that. You kind of like Tony Soprano. You have to like him from the beginning. You do like him, and then you forget. So,
well,
it's amazing
that's the show. Is it's daring you to like him. Yeah.
Right. And so when it goes like, I think there's a comic stand-up named Frank Santo Padre. I think that's his name, but he's in the first year, and he's the guy who can't get the phones right at the club. And eventually, Tony hits him beats him with a phone. And that doesn't ring a bell, maybe?
Isn't Frank Sancho Padre the guy who was Gilbert Gottfried's sidekick?
Yeah, I think he might have been in The Sopranos.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to check it out. I think it's him because he's a big guy. And so, you sometimes you'd see the affection that Tony would have for Christopher. You'd see these things, and it's not that you'd fool yourself, but I have to turn the phone off. Sorry. It's not that you'd fool yourself, but you'd forget how fucking monstrous these people are. That's just, I think, the way it was made. You're getting comfortable. They're fooling around with each other. And then, the violence is unbelievable. And sometimes it's not even that much seen. I have remembered that scene where Christopher, Michael Imperioli gets shot shoots the other guy in the foot. He shoots the other guy in the foot when he goes to his bakery. I have remembered that since that day, since the first time I saw it. I've been like, oh my God, I better not piss somebody off in the bakery, because he shoots the guy in the foot, and then he goes, and he walks out, he goes, it happens. Because what happens is that when they were going to kill Christopher, he freaked out. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me. So, he was trying to, that's too much. Okay. All right. I'll have to go into my new show.
Preschool plot synopsis. And then Christopher went in, and he went to the bakery, and then he shot the guy. He shot him in the foot because he was mean, he was mad, and it happened, he says.
But
I remembered it.
Even the stuff like him wanting to be a film writer, and this is where it gets to that the acting is incredibly great too, because it's totally believable that he thinks he's going to be a script writer. It's all believable. It all has a feeling of being real. And so just a tribute to how great it is, I guess.
You, sir, have convinced me The Sopranos are good. You, sir, have swayed me.
I even like the ending. I'm one of the few people who like the ending.
All right.
Well, you didn't mind it, did you?
I didn't mind it. I didn't care that much, really.
Yeah, but some people are saying, I can't believe he did that to us after all those goddamn years.
Right. Well, I don't watch TV that way.
Well, it's funny because of that. It's like, I remember when The Sopranos ended and Deadline Hollywood was like do you remember them during the Writers Guild strike?
Sure.
Right, so, right, so
TOLDJA, by the way, for those of you.
What's that?
TOLDJA, for those of you who didn't read Deadline Hollywood at the time.
Right. But they would come on and they would, so like in those days, like Nikki Fink said, I've turned on The Sopranos. That was the greatest show until this last. It was really when that, AM radio came to social media. talk radio came to social media. It's like everybody would, and you could argue that. I think there must have been a significant online presence there in 2000 by 2004, where people were arguing. Yeah, by 2007, that's when it was over. His show. I forget, it was 6 seasons, but over 9 years.
Yeah, I was on Twitter starting in 2009, apparently.
Yes, 2009. But there was a thing where, like, you're going to...
I think that sounds charming, people arguing about the end of a TV series as a big thing.
No, but
it was quaint.
Yeah, but Nikki Fink was a particularly nasty person when she would go after the fucking union, the actors union sucks and all this kind of stuff. She was really
no, I agree.
I did not enjoy her.
I agree, but it wasn't because of her opinion about The Sopranos.
No. I'm trying to. Are you an attorney of some kind? You're like an attorney who's trying to. You know I'm not doing well, and so you're an attorney who's trying to figure out my weaknesses. You're going, yes, it's true. But the point I'm saying is that the sickness of everybody being in a central area, for me, it started with the stump, was where I felt like we're in this weird social thing. And then it got to like Deadline Hollywood and all of those type of things. And then just how obnoxious the grinding pain of listening to people yell at Martin Scorsese. No, not Martin Scorsese. Yell at David Chase. How dare he? How dare? I don't give a fuck. He didn't do it. He should die. You know, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is really the beginning of the Twitter nightmare in a way. I know everything old is new and everything new is old. That's all been here before. But work with me on this, Josh. Work with me. I'm trying to think of this. I don't. I just want to make the absolute point that I was never arguing that me watching The Sopranos was the only thing I could do. I think it's like that I got frustrated. The Bear's back.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch The Bear this year?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I might be at the don't care tipping point with The Bear. I'm not sure.
Well, I then the other thing I was trying to think of was how did they look? How did the show look in terms of? Well, it was on film, so it looks pretty fucking good. The Sopranos. Was it all
16:9 or were the early seasons 4:3? I can't remember.
I don't know. You would know. You're asking me. You're a documentarian.
Was the picture square with black on the side in the early seasons, or does it fill the whole screen?
I can't remember, but you're bringing up a good point that if someone knew about stuff, you would be able to tell if that was true. Yes, I can't remember. I do remember watching things. I want to say maybe the first couple of years, maybe they were the TV into the 16:9. I don't know, Josh.
That's all you needed to say, really?
Why?
Scramble? It wasn't like a scramble answer. It was like,
what do you want from me? I can't control this. It's not my fault that these things are happening.
Maybe watch it on the weekend and you'll remember. That's what I was thinking last night. Is I think Joe needs to stop smoking pot on the weekends.
I'll tell you something. If he does smoke pot, I'll kill him. If he does anything that that ends up hurting his memory at all. Oh, he kept saying, this is one thing that was driving me. The idea. He kept going, the idea.
All right.
I didn't like that.
No. There was not a lot to glom onto last night.
But I'm still very proud of myself. I haven't watched CNN in a year and a half. I'm not going to put CNN on and see. I put a couple people, like people who used to drive me crazy, and I would go nuts on Twitter about these horrible pundits like Chris Cillizza. They're all over the TV. This is their heyday now.
Yeah.
They're coming back. It's like, thank God that I was. Well, I guess there's no draw to watch CNN when it's just so bad.
Yeah.
It really is like cheesy when it's not. When it's not just boring, it's cheesy.
Well, their current lineup of panels
with Dan Jones. I couldn't watch it. Did you watch any of it?
I watched a little, and then I went, well, you don't have to watch this on CNN. You can watch it elsewhere.
Right, but it's Van Jones. It was and it's Axelrod. Oh my God, who wants to say Jonathan Martin is another? Oh, not Jonathan Martin. Somebody else. It's like, so that's growth on my part. I'm not going to. I didn't think I could look at moving objects today. I was so sad.
Yeah.
I thought I would have to.
Well, you notice I'm sitting very still.
That will do as a solid joke on a day like today when we're sad. That's a solid. I'm going to say that's the best joke of the session.
Really? Thanks.
No.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, that's it. I'd like to be. When am I going to be able to refer to my writers? My writers. I don't even like when that guy.
You could have during any of the last 4 State of the Industry speeches.
Well, but like when they, I don't know. Like when the guy from England who you just love, the British guy, you just can't get enough of.
Ricky Gervais?
No, he's the he's Last Night Tonight. John Oliver. John Oliver. He I was gonna say no, something about him that he lost it.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Morning, sunshine.
Hi, sunshine.
Time for school. John Oliver was what you were going to say.
Yeah, it was like about how it was something negative about him, but I can't remember what I was going to say about him. How he's just. But I lost the germ. But this is the thing: you should not. This is between me and my physician. We shouldn't have to deal with this.
I have. There's few people who I've gone from supporting to reviling.
And who are they?
More strongly than John Oliver.
Give me some examples of that.
I just find him incredibly annoying now, when I used to find him funny.
Right. Yeah. He's.
I find his rhythm and his the rut that they've gotten into with their style just unbearable now. How
about John? I have not watched Jon Stewart on Monday nights.
I have not either.
To me, is this a company that's going out of business? Like we used to be Comedy Central. If you remember, we made comedy back in the heyday. Now find us on Fubu. Check us out on Paramount Central.
It is.
It's over. The only show that they do is a show that they've been changing the hosts. They can't even decide on the host.
I think that and South Park are their only production.
Don't tell me that South Park has been off the air for 15 years. Don't even joke with me. Could you imagine how old are those guys? 50? 55?
Probably 50.
And they're in the booth going, hey, it's a big back. Yeah, no, you big. Yeah. And I know what you're saying. The compensation's great. I don't care.
No, I'm saying you're 68 doing it right now.
Yeah. No, but I mean, those boys, it's like, I think I've said this a million times. South Park, I never liked bad animation. It was like for the first 3-minute thing that they made, which is No Christmas, they're joking about animation. They're mocking animation, but they turned that into their style of these guys going, hey, Cartman. Hey, say.
Yeah, but
that would be better.
But it allowed them to make an immediate animation show.
I know, and it's like if it went away tomorrow, if I heard that they lost all the footage, they lost all the kinescopes, I would have a big fucking party because that show blows. And if you say, look at these great episodes, the Scientology, yes, but we don't need more now, right? We don't need more.
I don't need more, no. But I do. I mean, I have a lot. As much as I don't love South Park.
Yeah,
but
I don't
certainly,
like them.
But certainly have. I do love them. I mean, just because of Book of Mormon, it got them to Book of Mormon, and I was like, all right, well, that's.
No, I mean, personally, I don't like. They're the very conservatives. Like, hey, we got our thing. Why? Yeah, they're like Adam Carolla when it comes to the unions and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, them personally, I don't.
I understand.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
I understand.
Remember when they dressed as women or something?
No, like I said, it's not like my sensibilities line up with theirs.
Right. Exactly.
But I think that what I respect about them, aside from just the volume of work they've done, is that with each thing they did, they built themselves a wider berth. And I felt like they earned themselves a wider berth as opposed to just taking it, kind of.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. But the show itself is so terrible that I can't get past that. It's bad every week. Bad front to back.
When have you watched one front to back?
I've watched
when
30
have you watched
or
one?
40 of
when have you watched one in the last 10 years? When have you watched a whole South
30 or
Park?
40 South Park parks. I've watched it, probably even tried to like it at one point.
Yeah, in the last 10 years, when have you watched a whole South Park?
No, why would I?
I'm just saying. I haven't either.
Do you okay? When you say you respect them, you respect their. You don't respect South Park. Yes, and you like. That
I respect
show.
that they got that they made their thing. They got their thing and were able to make it on their own for fucking.
Besides the
years.
Book of Mormon, what did you like from them?
Team America, I thought was funny.
I didn't. I thought that was. I tried to like that movie because I was still liking them then.
Yeah,
but I don't think that was a great movie. It was okay though with the puppets. That wasn't Dana Gould, right? No, it was.
No.
Yeah. But this is getting back into people who I find who were like full of it at a time when I was making a show at Comedy Central. They were just so full of themselves. And so, of course, it's about personal unpleasantness. But I never saw the Book of Mormon, but it just seems like it's funny.
It is very funny.
Yeah. I never seen Madison. I keep saying that. Hamilton.
No.
Have you?
Not live, but I saw the Disney production, and I had heard the soundtrack before.
I
did see it live. I saw it here at the Pantages. I just
did.
I just didn't enjoy it. The difference, I saw the Disney Plus production of it with the original cast, and it was substantially better than the road cast that I saw.
Right.
Just charisma-wise, top to bottom, it was just a sharper thing.
Yeah. I assumed it was the greatest show that had ever been. I don't know why I even assumed that. And then the more I heard about it, it felt like, is this the show? My name is Alexander Hamilton. I'm the guy from the Revolution. I want to do with the 10 Commandments and the Bill of Rights. I'm both not doing a good rap. I was trying to do an old school rap impression like they did on Saturday Night Live.
But South Park, lame.
Well, did you think I was selling? I'm pitching this to be on TV. This is my off TV. This is what I do on the podcast. I do bits like this. Yeah, I don't do it on the regular shows. You know, I can do many types of comedy: unfunny comedy, inappropriately unfunny, annoyingly
deeply unfunny.
Did I ask you if you thought I was garrulous?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. No. I yeah.
Tripahara says, "I've got to say, I missed the questions."
He does?
It was my chance to live my fantasy of being a comedy writer. I was Buddy Sorrell. Then Tom the Tom says, "Meanwhile, my name is the one that always comes up when they talk about questions. I didn't submit them a tenth as much as you and some others, and I'm catching strays." And then Pickle says, "Hi, I noticed that." Letters help change the subject off some of Andy's well-worn grooves. He seems to perceive it too, but I fear you can't go home again.
Wait a second now. I missed the well-known grooves.
I'm not exactly clear on it yet. It was, I think it was just, when Andy was in one of his things, at least you could go.
One of my snits.
Right.
Probably a snit.
When Andy went into his South Park thing, number 4.
Yeah, snit. Yeah. South Park snit. Here's the thing. I'm actually not making fun. I'm actually more mocking you, but not even mocking
I would say that too. You were.
Tom says.
Exactly. It's more my cadence with the phrase
right,
than you are
right.
the name itself. I understand.
And the only reason why I make fun of it is because we cried over it or something, or had an emotional breakdown. And
yes, we did. Yeah.
Let's get into an argument about how much I used to love. Like I can't follow it. I can't follow it. You're talking to now. This guy who I'm doing the podcast with has a terrible memory and can't hold facts. Let's read long letters and then let's read long letters to him. But the thing about it is that if you want to, why don't you start all? You know what? Why don't we release a paperback book?
Yeah,
like the questions.
Trade paperback.
No. Like Mad's funniest answers to the stupidest things. It's all the hilarious. It's like top 10.
Sure.
All the hilarious letters.
It's like Bill Maher releasing his book of rants or whatever.
Did he do that? I'm sure he did. Yeah. Who would buy that? Who would buy that? I would like to see a man who would buy that. I need to see in book form the guy who's not even that good when I'm listening to him. Don't get me started on Bill. I have no, it's like, don't get me started on Bill Maher, but like, it's not even I need new. What do they call it? Stocking horses? What do I?
Boy, that Joe Biden looks vivacious at this campaign rally on TV.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
been trying. Isn't he trying to prove that that was a glitch?
I would
like,
hope,
hey, look
I
at
would
me.
hope so.
Look at me.
I would hope so.
Come on, are you kidding me?
I think he went to a tanning booth overnight.
You should be glad that I don't have the TV on in the background because that would be the worst thing in the world. You can do it.
I can handle it.
You can handle it because you're, first of all, in charge of the show. Secondly of all, you're a whole.
And scene. All right.
Well, did you see? Could you tell I was still doing a thing?
I could tell that you wanted to be, but weren't.
Yeah, I think you've really. Oh, I went to physical therapy twice. I went to my physical therapy twice.
Yeah, how's it?
To a thing.
It sounds like it's gone fantastic just by the tone of it.
First of all, here's what's great about it. I don't know how you feel when you go to the Pilates thing, but when someone else says do 3 of those, you do them. You do them. Whatever they say, it's a miracle all of a sudden.
This is why I go to Pilates because when I say do 3 of those things, I go, okay, yeah, we'll do that later.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get home to do it again. No.
Right.
But these things are, it's a nice facility, and just the first of all, I'm
They're
trying
cheerful
not to.
people. They're cheerful people.
They're very nice people. They're very, very nice
cheerful
people. And they're not taking any of my bait. Well, I'm 90, of course. They don't take any of my bait.
No, they do not do self-deprecation well. That I learned.
But here's what I was. Can you see me? Here's what I was doing. This is where they have me back.
Standing, and sitting.
This is where Andy is now.
That is old man exercise.
Then I did the cat camel.
Yeah.
And then I did every one of those. Here's where the stiffness seems to, and I wonder if you have to address this. I don't know if the hamstring, what a loose somebody who is loose in that area would be like, but my hamstrings could like eat I could use them for chopsticks or something like that.
Yeah.
So when I tried to I put a belt on my foot and I raised it up. Oh my God. I am a little tight in the hamstrings and the glutes. And it's not from my old joke of most Nazis had hamstring issues from the goose stepping. It's not even that. This is a real story.
No, and that I find that a lot of back pain, especially spasmy lower back pain, is really the hips being locked up.
I think. Thank you for saying that. And I also did a thing that made me feel like I was gonna. It's called a leg press. I know people. I've done one years ago, but this was like I pressed it, and also I was able to push the other way, and so it just really was like. I guess the thing is, I thought just walking around, I would be. I'm walking. What do you want from me?
Right.
I'm taking care of everything. What definition do I need up here? Because I still have problems. I know I need to do these. I don't do them. Do you do these?
Are these curls? What are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I go twice a week and get a trainer.
No, I mean at home though.
I do almost nothing at home. This is why I spend all this fucking money to go to a trainer, because I am absolutely 100% unaccountable to myself otherwise.
Well, it does make the time go fast too, but I think that I can't do that. I have to do these stretches every day, I think. Because I'm
I actually do a lot of stretching on my own.
Yeah.
And I always have. So, and you'd be shocked how limber I am.
I'm not shocked, because when I tried to have sex with you the one time and you were able to do, what did you call it?
A full Nelson?
That is, oh God, sometimes things tickle my tickle bone. But here's the thing, and this is one thing that bothers me about the body. I can't remember one thing. I can't remember the calf. I can't remember the
you don't even have muscle memory.
I have short-term muscle memory loss. But oh, I forgot now.
Oh, damn it!
God damn, it was running.
There was a topic we were both invested in.
I'm like Biden in September, right? Get him back on the thing. But those things, like I have a recumbent bike here, so I noticed that she had me do 10 minutes on the recumbent bike.
Yeah.
Well, I got my heart going more than walking does, so I think I should do recumbent bike. See, this is my image. Thank you, people at the physical therapy place. I've got it now. Wait till I get home.
Right, exactly.
But
here's another tip: walk faster.
But still, it's. I mean, this was like I got my heart up to 190. What you're thinking of is running, which I don't want to do. I don't want to make that mistake again.
I'm not thinking about it.
I used to hate running. I mean, ultimately hate it because it was like
awful. That's why.
And I would look at the others, really, there's like some people intense, like, okay, they're Olympic. They're studying for the Olympics or something.
Right. Well,
there has to be a reason.
Some people smile when they're eating a salad. It's.
But nobody looks happy. They smile when they eat a salad. But here's the other thing that I've started. That maybe me a few years ago. Let's show the people at the physical therapy how much I know about physical. It's like
yes.
I stopped that immediately. I said, oh, we used to do this other stretch, and I said, no, don't worry, I'm not doing other stretches. I just do whatever you tell me.
All right. Well, that's good. So how frequently are you going to go? I
went twice I went the last 2 days. It was pretty amazing. But the thing is, they have normally three physical therapists and they're down one. So they have very little touch. She's trying to squeeze me in. Yeah. So I got a couple of, probably want to try to do it twice a week is what I'm trying to do. But I don't have another date till like a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're jammed over there.
Yeah.
They're jammed. I thought the Valley was going to have a whole bunch of outlets for me.
No, there's not that many.
Well, one thing that's nice is, and I don't think you get a chance to drive.
Chances are I've gone to the one you're going to, in fact.
Right, but I don't think I've not had as much time to go through Encino, the wonderful Encino Commons. It's just a beautiful area. It's the Miracle Mile. I was like, what the fuck? How did they get away with it? Shouldn't they be sued? What's the Miracle Mile over there between Havenhurst? What's the Miracle Mile? There's 4 stores? And I start to get enraged. But, that's just me.
That's just one block, people.
Then I tell Susan, I go, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this? That Burbank eventually crosses over to Ventura. She goes, I think I knew that, but who gives a, it's like, she wasn't as excited.
So you're going all the way to Tarzana.
Right.
Wow.
That's what's happening here. And so I think there's all these neighborhoods and, it's not, there's a Fat Sal's in every town. There's a, and I'm not, there is, I keep thinking there's going to be a part where I go to Tarzana. It's like old Tarzana when Tarzan lived, the guy who came Edgar Rice Burroughs.
All right.
Go to this little diner. You can't, it's the greatest. They don't have that. They have the Big Bear Diner. So, like, they have things that would be in a small town or something, but it just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like. What am I saying?
I have no idea. I have no idea what you were expecting from Tarzana that you're not getting.
Okay, I feel like if I lived in the center of Studio City, I'd have more of a happening life. All these restaurants and blah, 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 blah. But I guess what I'm saying is, ultimately, it's the same restaurants that go on for about 45 miles up on Ventura Boulevard. It's not like the wonderful city of Encino unfolds into the different look of Tarzana. There's a certain sameness.
Yeah.
It's also slightly hotter over there.
Huh.
That's West Valley, baby. We're talking West Valley.
Oh my God.
Josh, it's not that I'm just unfunny. Josh, I think there's something wrong.
Newspaper blown through the cracks. Falls on the round toes.
Did I tell you about when I tried to do that comedy about that show?
Old man.
Yeah, I tried to do comedy about that. I said, thanks a lot, Paul Simon. How terribly strange to be 70. I'm going to be 70 in 2 years. People stare at me like I've just said a depressing thing that there's nothing funny about. There's nothing funny about it to them. How terribly strange to be 70. I guess
but you're reinforcing that, is what you're saying.
No. What my joke was, I never imagined. That's a good look. When I was in the car listening to the 8-track tape about old friends, lost in their overcoats, waiting for the. It's just like these two old ragamuffins who are ready to die, and that's what happens when you get old. And here's young Paul Simon thinking about how crazy it is because he's not old.
Yeah,
he's talking about being old from being the most popular songwriter at the time and partying down. But I'm saying, if he had known that he would be 70, would he have written that song or something? I'm just saying how it's funny to me. Okay, this is funny to me, but must not be a joke. It's funny to me that he was one of my favorite people, just like the Beatles. And then he had to write When I'm 64, just like Paul Simon. And then he had to write a song about how terrible I'd feel when I'm 70.
Right.
I can't get a laugh out of it. Even the description, which you usually are bowled over by. That's a kick in the teeth, though.
There's my generation as well.
Yeah, but it's my kick in the teeth for me when a lot of it has to do with the pandemic. You come up with an idea. If you were working in clubs, you'd really realize how quickly it's not going to ever work out.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But
if you aren't doing time, you just keep it alive. That joke that's the reason you're going to get on stage next time is because you got this goal ready. That's what, speaking of Paul Simon, that was very much how I felt watching Biden last night. It was like going all in on Garfunkel.
I don't quite get that.
I loved him when he was with Simon. Loved him when he was with Simon.
It's like going all in on Garfunkel.
And then you go, oh my God, this guy, this is, what, huh? Really? That's the guy?
Well, neither of us were like in 2020. They better get Biden in there and wrap this up. Everything was a shock.
No, we were begrudgingly getting on board with Biden in 2020.
Right.
Yeah. And then convincing ourselves we love Biden. I never fully, as you may or may not recall, I was never fully on board, but I was all behind him 100%.
Well, but I also think it's not a mistake that he's done a good job. I don't think that's a mistake. But it does seem like, he's not a good communicator.
He's not a good communicator. I've never been impressed by his intellect. I've been impressed by his intentions.
That's exactly right. But actually, I would say that he does have tremendous intellect in terms of how long he was in the Senate. So when he's coming to these complicated decisions about world policy, I think he is a good person to do that. In that, I don't think he lacks I don't know what I'm saying. In other words, everybody is upset with him because they want about. Did you see how well they talked about the Palestinians last night? And he goes, and he's not just a Palestinian; he's a bad one. Right. What I'm saying is, when you, if we are stuck in what we're stuck in, unless you want to have a revolution, so we're stuck in what we're stuck in.
As I wrote on Twitter last night, CNN just aired a 90-minute commercial for nihilism. For nihilism.
That's very good. I don't know. Is it nihilism or nihilism?
I say I just said nihilism, but I believe it to be nihilism, and I base that on the word annihilation.
Right. Oh, annihilation. Yes. But I'm making arguments that would not make. It's like I loved. Okay, in my lifetime, Barack Obama was my favorite politician thus far.
Simon.
Okay.
In this case. In my analogy.
That's right. And so, and then so much so that I would get overly defensive about him. But
I would think I found you get so offended by it you were craven.
But here's the thing. When I talked to my friend, her name is Nayara Hawk, and she was in the Obama administration, and and the election. I mean, it was before Biden. So, what do you think about Biden? And she goes, I don't think it's like right. And that's what we all felt. I felt that way about him with when he was with the Anita Hill thing. I just never thought he did a great job. But
his nomination was a response to Bernie panic.
I think that was in 22. Was Bernie winning in 20?
Yes, it was. Yes.
I wish that Bernie had been more captivating.
I would have loved to have seen Bernie in that debate last night.
He would have tore him apart.
He would have torn him a new asshole.
Yeah, and still with is it a New York accent he has? Brooklyn.
I don't know. I just hear Jackie Mason. So whatever Jackie Mason.
What are the odds that this was during my salad days of comedy? What are the odds that the cop who pulled over Mel Gibson was Jewish? What are the odds? How did they know he was Jewish? Did they go, Mr. Gibson, do you know how fast you were driving, Mr. Gibson, with the boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop? Turns a lovely Jackie Mason impression, but I must say, even after all these years, I still find it remarkable that the cop who pulled him over was Jewish, because you don't see many Jewish policemen. Some.
Sure.
I used to have a whole bit about you don't see Jewish brave firemen. Hey, guys, while you're in there, I'll be at the truck if anyone. I mean, these were gold before the Jews were even more hated recently.
How about, did you hear Kinky Friedman died? Speaking of bandying about the word Jew for comedy's sake.
I did not know. I'm not that familiar with him. I know. Did you? I don't even know what. I guess I could conjure up what he did. What did he do? He had a song. He's a singer,
he
right?
He was like a Mojo Nixon-esque.
Right.
Comedic.
That makes sense.
Singer, author, run for office kind of guy.
Right. But his real name isn't Kinky.
Kinky Friedman and the Texas Jew Boys was his band.
What was his music like?
It was like comic country, kind of. They ain't making Jews like Jesus no more. I think it was one of them.
You're making me further.
Like I'm saying, it's like he loved using Jew for.
But there was a hit he had too. I thought.
I don't think he had an actual hit. I think that was the closest hit he had to a hit. I saw him play once, and the woman I went with was highly offended by him.
Well, I loved Mojo Nixon, and Mojo Nixon, he had some interesting things to say. He was like saying, even back then, he was saying like he believed in free speech, but he also believed in consequences. So, like, if you're going to say this, don't be surprised if people hate you after it.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty mature take on free speech, like free expression.
Right. It's the part of the equation that most comics, especially, miss.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh, yeah. Now I've done that for I could be that way for other reasons. They didn't like me. I want them to like me, but not on this topic. I'm golden. I don't know what I'm defending. I think I'm defending myself in the long run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
this, push comes to
You're trying to leave a paper trail.
I really didn't. I want to thank you. I know you're going to hang up, but I want to thank you.
Shouldn't I soon?
I think you should. I really want to thank you. You did a wonderful job, and I was in such a horrible mood, just a black mood all night. But then in the morning, I started to get my sense of humor because it's hard to do this show with no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, I'm dead.
We're fucked.
I can't.
We're
fucked.
We're fucked.
We're fucked. Did you see what movies did you see? We're fucked.
Doesn't matter.
We're fucked. Doesn't matter. So I'm very happy that. And the thing is that many people think.
Oh, you're bad. You're so bad at this.
Well, why don't you show me? Could I have a remote control?
Go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspire. Okay, goodbye.
If you want to have sex, let's wait till Arliss.